Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow because we discuss socially relevant things mixed with a splash of humor. If you know you have tissue paper feelings, this probably isn't the channel for you. But and however, since you're here, I just need for you to do two things. Hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and turn on that little bell so that you get the notification every single time that I go live or upload something new. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and I just wanted to introduce you to the Goalie Gummies if you're not already familiar. So this is the original Goalie Gummy. This is good for burning belly fat, as well as curbing your appetite. This one is just going to be your for beauty, wellness, and nutrition. This is the superfruit. Then we have the all-around health from within. This is the green, the super greens. And then of course we have the ashwagandha. This is good for calming, relaxing, sleeping, anxiety, calming anxiety. The same ones, but this is for the chocolate lovers that are out there. So use my promo code. It's Craig the Writer Stewart. Visit www.goalie.com and the promo code is Craig the Writer Stewart. That's free shipping and of course 15% off.
I'm like walking like an old woman.
Oh, that's always here.
Take one of these.
What's it, ginger and turmeric?
Because this helps with because I turned Cassandra onto them. Because when I take these, my knees don't be hurting and stuff. That's with that.
How often you supposed to take them? One a day?
Yeah, take 2 a day.
I wonder if you could have got them with that card.
This was what's in there. This was not food.
Sometimes vitamins will go on there. Oh, what y'all been doing?
Shopping, honey.
Good. Good. That food stand balance then dropped. Yeah, sometimes food stands will cover like vitamins and stuff like that. Now, I know some of my protein powders would come up. Well, you
really?
Know,
See, the other ones I had, they didn't have ginger.
Ooh, so she pouring them like she pouring popcorn.
And you're only supposed to take 2.
Right, take one of them back. How they taste?
They have a citrus flavor with that ginger, and the ginger crystals are on there.
Oh, they good. Girl, you need to wait. You pull them from the side.
Cassandra been taking. She said, "Oh, this working." I said, "I used to watch the doctors that came on TV."
You know they want to know what you talk about.
Oh,
They were like, "What? Show us."
I've been taking them for months, and it helps with inflammation because my knees and stuff was hurting, and that has made a difference because of that arthritis in my right knee. Don't look at me like something wrong with you.
No, I was thinking I should have got some for Carlton's mother because her knees be bothering her.
Be clicking and clacking.
She need to have her knee replacement.
Oh,
she had one before, but
well, you know they only last for 10 years.
Well, she just had it not long ago, but she needed on that other one. It's that other
on
knee.
the other knee. Okay.
And Carlton told the other day, he said you might need to. Right. He said you might need to get you some celery because she did notice difference when she was using the celery juice.
Yeah, that inflammation is no joke, and that's what the doctor explained to me. That's what causes them to do that.
Those are good. I'm going to shake some of them into a little,
Do you know them?
I was like, who is this boy right here walking down here? What's going on? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's Elliot, right?
This my friend. That's my friend. He watched the video. He used to train me.
Is that the video going now?
This my Patreon. One thing, I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Just get Mother Gladys.
What you want to eat?
We'll throw some in your stomach. Let's go get her with her tight curls.
It's probably good that I ate those on an empty stomach, though.
It absorbs better. I don't know because it just says take them two per day, and they actually do work.
I should have got some. How much are they? $20?
$29 for that big one, and that's 500 milligrams. When I get them from Walmart, it's a smaller bottle,
right? And
it's $12.99. So might well get the big one,
right, from
Costco's. Why do we have these fortune cookies in the The rest.
Let me see
the
what my
cup
fortune
rest.
cookie is. They can go in the trash after I read them. You want the other one?
I don't want to eat it. No, I won't.
No, I meant, did you want to see get the fortune? I ain't gonna eat it.
I usually eat them though.
I'm not eating them.
It's a cookie.
You will inherit an unexpected sum of money within the year.
I should open that one. That's my fortune.
Yeah, but inherit means somebody had to die.
Seeing all these types of houses being thrown up, and they're just
So
on the
Elin
street.
Harris used to live up here.
Oh, did he?
It was like right over here.
I didn't know that.
I can never remember which one it is though.
He lived in a high rise
No, it was like these little townhouses. It was like one of these ones.
like this.
Like, yeah, when you go through this gate. Let me see. No, it wasn't that. That's not it.
This one.
No.
That one.
It kind of was similar to, yeah, it was like that.
Okay.
That may have been it.
Well, that's fairly new.
It was like, well, yeah, so I don't think it was that one, but it was fashioned like that. When you go in, it was like these little townhouses on each side.
I didn't know where he lived.
So it was right here. And so I had come. Elin had a party for this white guy. It was a white gay guy who put out a book. And I remember the name. I do remember the name of it, but that's not important.
The name of the book.
Yeah. And so Elin was throwing a.
So shame.
Right.
It's not important.
That's not important. We're not promoting that here. I mean, I never read it or anything like that, so I don't know if it was good or anything like that, but he hosted a party for him at his house. And this was right when I was running my show. And the publicist was like, Craig, you need to come to this party that Elin. This was before I had ever even written a book or anything. I didn't
Had
even
you
know.
read Elin Harris' books?
I had read his
Okay.
books. I had gone to his signing for, what's his memoir called?
I forgot.
What Becomes of a Broken Heart. I had gone, see, he wrote that book. He had come to Hampton when I was in Hampton and read an excerpt from it.
Okay.
Years and years went by. I mean, I know it was way up in 2003 or 2004. So that was like 6 years later that the book actually came out. So I was like in Hampton when he first read an excerpt, and I was like, and I kept looking for the book, and it just took like 6 years. So by the time it came out, I was living here.
Gotcha.
I was coming from the gym one day. I had a Hampton University jersey on, and I used to go to the Crunch Fitness over here. And he had the signing over here. I'm gonna come back to the party at the house. I came over here to the signing at the Barnes & Noble, or the bookstore, whatever it was that was there. And I had on this Hampton jersey. And so it was a long ass line. And again, this is before I had ever written a book. Long ass line. It was all the way downstairs, right?
Lord.
And he came in. So he came and he had this grimace on his face. And the people were like, oh my God. You know, like I just told you, the line was downstairs to the door. Oh my God. He just walked. He had this Louis Vuitton flip bag on his side. And he walked in, he had his hair pressed down, gel down and pressed. It looked like he had a perm in it. And he walked in, and the people was just raving and yelling, and he didn't smile. He was just like looking. He was just talking to people. He was like, "Where do I need to be? Where do I need to sit?" Like, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna sit right down there." And somehow they came to a decision, because these women were. It was mostly women. They had all of his books. Like some of those women had all of his books. They were holding them in the line. And at some point, somebody made a decision. I don't know if it was him or if it was Barnes & Noble's, but they made an announcement. Excuse me, everybody. He's only going to be signing 3 of your books. So meanwhile, all of this was happening. I stood to the side of the line.
With your Hampton shirt on.
I had a Hampton jersey on. And so I'm sitting, so there was a lady sitting in a chair. She was basically right across from where he was sitting.
Okay.
He was sitting at a table and the line was right in front of him. And so he was looking down and he was, signing books or whatever. And so the lady was like, "Oh, did you, are you a student at Hampton?" And mind you, this was 6 years after I had graduated. She said, "Are you a student at Hampton?" I said, "No, girl, I graduated." So the point is, I've always looked very young. Her girlfriends were in the line.
Okay.
And so they called her, "Girl, we need you to come get in this line.
And get 3 of these books.
Get 3 of these books, because we getting all of our books signed." And so she says, "Okay, but listen, I got to go. My friends are calling me." She says, "But I'm going to," and I told her, I've been waiting for this book to come out because when I was a student there, he came and read an excerpt. I said, and it's now just coming out. And I said, that was 5-6 years ago. She says, "Well, when I get up to the front of the line, I'm going to tell him." When she got up to that line, somebody in the back of the line, bitch, obviously they could hear her too. Somebody, like several people behind her, was like, "That was what he said." And you heard the crowd go, "Ooh,
you heard like these little murmurs through the crowd, like, ooh. And I said to my friend, I said, bitch, let's get up in there. I said, if I cuss this ugly bitch out, I said, let's get up out of here.
Yeah, that was nasty.
I almost wanted to, I didn't buy my book from Barnes & Noble. I don't remember where I bought it, but I almost wanted to return. I almost wanted to throw the book away because I never even got my book signed. Like that. Oh, and then the third time I met him was when I went to that party. So back to the play. When I did the play, Jamal was like, hey, you need to come to the party. He said, I can't literally give you an invitation. He said, but he said, you can't tell them that I invited you. He said, because I'm just the publicist. He said, but I think you need to be in the room. So he was hosting this book signing at his apartment, his condo, for this white guy who was putting out this gay book. And he basically explained, well, let me go back. So when I got to the door, so the guy Jamal said, well, when you come, he said, just act like you're supposed to be there and like somebody invited you, you know, just. So when I got there, Elin opened the door. I said, hey, and didn't know why I was moving to LA, had no clue. Just knew that there was an instinct telling me you need to be in LA. And then once I got there, I started writing the opening, the prologue, in Words Never Spoken. And I just thought that's all I was gonna write. And
Just the prologue?
that's all I thought. Because I didn't know it was a book. I just thought I was writing. I just thought I was getting something off my chest.
How did you know when to stop writing?
Because I had nothing else to say at that point.
Okay.
And I was like, that's it. And then what happened was, this guy, Oscar, that I know, when I got out there, he was doing hair for Nicki Minaj at the time.
Okay.
And this girl that I know from here, she's back here now, she was doing her makeup. When I got to LA, he and I would hang out a little bit. That's, you know, this, that, and the other. And that's how I met Jay Manuel.
Okay.
And we all used to hang out and do little stuff. So long story short, I let him read the prologue.
Okay.
And he said, Craig, this is the book. He said, where's the rest? I said, ain't no rest. That's it. He's like, no, this ain't it. And so he was the one that planted the seeds and said, no, this is a book, Craig. He said, you're funny. He said, people don't get to see this part of you.
No, they
and this is
don't.
before I did lives and like y'all know me now, but I was very like,
You claim to be shy.
I was.
That's what they say when they're in the closet.
I was reserved.
Anyway.
And so he was like, no, Craig. He said, you're really funny. He said, and you really need to finish this. He said, like, it makes you, he said, this piece that I read makes me want to know where you come from.
Exactly.
Like the people that you come from. How did you become this person that you are? Like, and I was like, really? And so when he said that, it makes me want to know where you come from and where it started. I started the first chapter and it said, this story, my story, begins May 4th, 1976 in Baltimore, Maryland. That's the first line of the book. But the prologue is all I thought I was going to write.
Well, what was you gonna do? What was the purpose of writing the prologue if you had no intentions of making it a complete package?
Well, because it was just like something that just needed to come out of me. And so I just started writing it. I just started typing it.
Okay.
And when I typed it, for me, the prologue kind of encapsulates what I was feeling when I left Atlanta in 2011. I felt like this city had hurt me. It was kind of a brief glimpse at some of the relationships that I had that fell apart. My encounter dating the first guy that I really fell in love with, who found out he was HIV positive two months after we met. It was 2 months after we met. And, you know, it was just like failed business ideas and, you know, what I thought was failed at the time. You know, all of that stuff. Like, I had struggled. I was living in Angela's house at the time. So when I got to LA, I was really purging.
Okay.
I was just trying to write about all that I felt. And then it became all of these things that had shaped me, going back to childhood. Like there's a story in the first book called, there's a chapter called Appleton Street. And so for me, the book became all of these things that shaped and molded me to be who I am today. Good and bad stuff.
Right.
You know, that really, it's the sum total of who I am today. So like I wrote this chapter called Appleton Street, and I literally write about how my dad picked me up from my maternal grandmother's house, and we went for a ride. It was only like a few minutes away from my grandmother's house, and my mother's car was parked outside. He said, you see that? That's your mother's car right there. She been running with this man who lives in that house right there. And I never forgot that. Tried to call her, and my maternal grandmother said, hang that phone up. This story is in the first book. She said, hang that phone up. Words Never Spoken.
That was an accusation by him that you never confirmed.
Right.
Didn't give an opportunity to defend us.
And more importantly, that was their business. That shouldn't have been my business.
A child shouldn't have been brought into that.
All right, ask him.
There was a question on the table, Mother Gladys, and Craig was talking about his first book, and it was a chapter called Appleton Street. Did you read that book?
Right.
And he said that it was he was guiding, his father picked him up from your mother's house and took him down the street. They didn't go that far. His father saw your car parked on the street. He said, "See, that's your mama's car. She'll just cheat with that nigga." That's so sad to me, because my mother didn't get child support, and she says, "I find it very disgusting that a black woman has to go to a white man to tell a black man to take care of his shit."
Right. And spend all that money with a lawyer and stuff.
But he gonna give his money to the white people, so he won't have to take care of his black children.
Look at the hater over here. Hater party of one. Your table is ready. So she said, I need to see. I ordered my cocktail. She said, I need to see your ID. I said, well, how old do you think I am?
37.
46.
I was close.
Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and I'm inviting you to join my Patreon. Don't know what a Patreon is? It's my official video diary with only exclusive content that you won't see anyplace else. It's easy to join. Just visit patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. Here's what you'll find on my Patreon. A day in my life, whether that's dinner with friends or a typical workday. Live Q&As with members of my Patreon about each episode of the T.S. Madison Experience and what I was really thinking. I'll even bring you on vacation with me. The video will make you think that you were right there. And last but not least, for all of my aspiring writers, I give you first-hand, one-on-one, personalized attention, answering all of your questions about publishing and self-publishing. So what are you waiting for? Join now. Swipe up or visit www.patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. I'll see you soon. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Craig the Writer. Do it now. One of the best parts of life is when you can admit the truth to yourself about yourself. Cyberspace is a world where one can become something he isn't, but everything he dares to be. I wasn't interested in getting attached to anyone, and I knew I wouldn't take anyone I met online seriously. I had multiple screen names to increase my chances of meeting someone attractive. The majority of the profiles noted HIV negative under status, but I knew better from the work I had done in the HIV community. I knew 1 out of 3 black gay men was positive. The messages I found in my inbox validated me in my depression. In some strange way, they reinforced that I was worthy and deserving. My days consisted of waking up and logging on to see how many messages had accrued overnight. Months passed before I got honest with my therapist about what was happening with me. And before I knew it, I heard myself say, I've been having sex with people I meet online. To listen to more of Words Never Spoken in Memoir, visit audible.com. I was involved briefly with a married man who believed he had the courage to leave his wife to be with me and to live his truth. This isn't the typical story of a married man promising to leave his wife for a secret lover. Rather, this is a story in part about a gay man who knew he was gay before he got married, but chose to marry a woman because he didn't know how to break free. Rocky and I met on a gay social media site 3 months after I returned to the East Coast to live, and just 11 months after he was married. At the time we met, he was living and working in Dubai as a contractor for the government on a military base, while his wife was stationed in Tallahassee, Florida, where they had a home. In one of the first messages he sent me, Rocky shared that he was married, but that he had regrets. He explained that he had come out to his mother and siblings when he was 18 years old. He said that. To listen to more of One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure, a memoir continued, visit audible.com.